Here we go. Well, well, well. It looks like the French are not backing down. I'll give them that. They are not leaving Niger, Africa. I'm actually kind of surprised. I really did think that the ambassador for France representing in Niger would leave. But guess what? He's not leaving. He is hiding out, allegedly, in this compound right here. The square compound right here. The water's shut off. The electricity is shut off. Now, the thing that bugs me and bothers me, and we'll get into this in this video, is right next door over here is the largest superpower in the world and has nothing to do with this coup, wants nothing to do with this coup, wants nothing to do with the French or anything. The United States. And if anything happens to pop off over here, we better pray and hope that nothing pops off over here, because you have a bunch of U.S. Marines who are ready to get down. But guess what? The French also have troops who are ready to get down as well. Now, in this video, we're going to sort of go over what's going on. The power's been shut off. I'll keep you guys updated. This is a kind of tough story to keep up with because at this point, anything can happen. So let's go ahead and check out what's happening. Here's a little recap on what Niger wants from France. And then we'll get into the water and all that being shut off and troops on standby, which is not good. Speculation says the French are ready for battle and combat.
Tensions between Paris and Niamey continue to mount as officials in Niger push for France's ambassador to be expelled from the country. This letter, obtained by AFP, was sent to the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Tuesday and says that Ambassador Sylvain Ité has been stripped of diplomatic immunity, as well as ordering police to expel him from the country.
Okay, massive point right there. Now, typically, if you are an ambassador in a country, especially like a superpower of France or the United States, typically the country will grant you immunity, like we're playing the game Survivor. And you can usually get away with things, your own sovereign nation, because like the ambassadors are the representation for the foreign countries. It's kind of like don't shoot the messenger, but at this point, there is no more messenger. They took away the immunity. So now Niger sees him as an illegal entity in their country. Now the thing is like, what do we do with this guy? We kick him out with the cops. The French don't leave. Cut the power in the water. The French don't leave. What do you do now?
On Friday, the authorities gave Ité 48 hours to leave Niger, a deadline that was rejected by Paris, who don't recognise the new government that was installed after a military coup last month. Earlier this week, French President Emmanuel Macron praised the ambassador, stressing that he would remain in office.
This is wild.
On Thursday, a spokesman for the French army announced that Paris is ready to act in order to protect their diplomatic rights in Niger.
And for those of you who are not aware, the French are known, I mean, you don't really hear about this in the United States, but the French really have been active in Africa for a very, very long time. In a lot of their countries, especially like Mali, not with a lot of success in their operations, but they get down. We're talking French Foreign Legion, commandos, etc. I'm not for any sort of violence or action like that, but the French are saying they're ready to fight. Now, this right here is kind of the meat and potatoes of, well, if you guys are down to fight, we'll just cut your water and electricity, bro.
Niger has turned to unconventional approaches to induce the departure of the French ambassador. The military leadership of Niger has cut the supply of electricity and water to the French embassy located in the capital city, Niamey. Not only that, they have also restricted food supply to the French embassy.
Dude, the French are holding it down. Now, again, I'm just speculating here. I'm not saying this is true or not true. But if I had to take an educated guess, close this here, French embassy over here, French territory over here, United States over here. If I had to take a guess, I am willing to bet that the French are secretly maybe getting some water supply or something, especially considering there's a... Can I get some of the swimming pool water? I shouldn't be laughing, but this is a very serious situation, and unfortunately lives may be at stake, but seriously. The French are not leaving, and it just kind of annoys me. I'm just going to be honest with you, because they're being asked to leave. They were asked for a peaceful transition, and the French are like, nah, ECOWAS is here. They'll back us up. We have the French military. We're here. Okay.
By Rob Parsons, our chief foreign editor. Rob, we just heard from Leo's piece, tensions rising between France, between its former colonial power. Where could this be heading?
Well, it doesn't look very good at the moment. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of room for compromise or any sense of compromise coming from either side. The junta, as you pointed out, has been taking an ever stronger position towards the French presence in Niger. Last Friday, the ambassador was told to leave. He hasn't left. The French authorities, the French government has said it doesn't recognize the authority of the...
Again, we're just at this standoff of the French doesn't recognize you, Niger doesn't recognize the French, and at the end of the day, it's a complex situation, but the French are in the country of Niger. Just because you used to host and be the colonial superpower, it's an odd thing. And again, somehow the United States, I praise the United States here, I try not to be biased, they've managed to just not hide, but not be a part of this. The worst part about all this is that the United States seems to share a same compound with the French.
The junta, now they're stepping up the odds. They've told the police to expel the French diplomats from Niamey, the capital. The French authorities, as we saw in that report just now, have responded to that by saying that they still don't recognize the authority of the military authorities in Niger, and that the French military are on standby to protect any diplomatic and military interests that they have.
Okay, so I was trying to look up when they say the French are on standby, what are the numbers? That's really hard to find. I'll give it to the French. They kind of keep the numbers secret, and so does the United States and Niger. Niger has always been an area of not secrecy, but keep it on the down low, because we're fighting militant groups out here, and we don't want everyone knowing what we're doing. But the only number I could sort of find, if I scroll down here, pretty sure I might have a number here. Hold on. Is it not here? Oh yeah, right here. France has some 1,500 military personnel in Niger who trained and conducted joint operations with Nigerian security forces. The irony behind that, and you know what else is crazy? Not only have the French trained these guys, so has the United States, and now they're going to be combating them in case if something does pop off. To beat back a growing insurgency linked to these militant groups that you can't say on here. The operations have ceased since the coup. And so, again, another layer to the story that many media outlets seem to be ignoring is the fact that these major superpowers, the French, United States, and like the Italians, Germans, a lot of people are in Niger to team up together with these other African nations to beat these common militant groups. And guess what? It's not happening right now. And what do you think is happening when these groups are not being stopped? They're spreading and spreading and spreading. So to be fair, also to Niger, they're like, you guys need to leave our country, so we're not worrying about you guys. And the French are like, well, we don't recognize you. How about you get out of our face? That's why you have a bit of tension here. Now, another interesting aspect to all of this, somehow the French president talks to the ousted president Bazoum, Mohamed Bazoum. Hey, we have a $10 donation. What's good, bud? Love the new direction. Tactical Scooter Brigade, mount up. Much love. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $10 donation. It means a lot to me. The Lion. Love you. And shout out to the Tactical Scooter Brigade. Much love. And again, if you are watching this live, I do post this video so you can go back and watch. Yeah, somebody made a good point. If the people ask you to leave their land, then you should. There is no way the French are right, which is why the United States has not said this is a coup. The United States says it looks like a coup. Notice I almost can't find a report about the United States. Like, I have to really, really dig to see what the State Department's saying, the Pentagon. No one's saying anything. For the first time in U.S. history, we are staying out of it. I can't even believe it. But I want to talk about this part of the story right here. Is that the French president still is in contact with Mohammed, which leads me to believe that Mohammed, he's doing okay. He is being tried for treason, which is not good because that could be capital punishment. French President Emmanuel Macron said, I think it's Macron, said on Friday that he spoke on a daily basis with Niger's ousted President Mohamed Bazoum, who has been removed from power. So again, this guy has been removed from power, yet France acknowledges him as the president right now. The only issue is you can say whatever he can say he's still in power according to their constitution, but if you're locked up in a jail cell, what power do you really have? Macron's comments were published on the Elise social media platform and were made as he spoke about an educational matters to reporters in southern France. Again, that's all the information we have. It almost looks like the French are trying to be like, look, we're still in contact with them. Our ambassador is still there. We really have hope. We want to stick around Niger. But what it really looks like is that the French are trying to hold it together because, again, we have country after country falling apart in Africa, which used to be former colonial powers. And it's not looking good for France, considering their spot as a superpower. Other people speculate, well, there's a lot of uranium deposits in Niger, and that's why the French are really there. They could care less about any of this, and they're just sending their troops there to fight insurgencies. And the last I could find about any U.S. troops is that there are Marine guards remain at the U.S. Embassy in Niger. And if there's one thing the United States has learned is that you better beef up your embassies in these countries who are willing to fight. And I'm sure these Marines are ready to get down if something pops off. Again, luckily enough, there hasn't really been any hype around the United States in Niger. There really isn't a lot of worry. The United States has ceased embassy operations for the most part. But as far as Niger threatening the United States and U.S. soldiers, has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the French. Get the French out. Somebody said Mohamed Bazoum is a French puppet, put in power in French-sponsored rigged elections. Hey, that's what Niger is saying as well. So anyway, that's essentially what's going on. The ambassador is sticking around because he knows the French are on standby. From this report, I saw 1,500 troops, but who knows, the French maybe can get down and are ready to send even more troops. French Foreign Legion is known to have a rapid response team and report straight to Africa if they have to. I stand by the United States wants absolutely nothing to do with this. Like, if we are not about to have another Afghanistan, another Benghazi, we're staying out of it, son. And I'm proud of the United States. For once, we are doing the right thing and just keeping our mouth shut, securing our embassy, and letting the French deal with what they've been dealing with for almost hundreds of years. Okay, so everybody, please do me a really big favor. If you're watching this live, I post this live stream. If you comment on the video, it helps out the channel a lot. Please comment on the posted video. Give your opinion so I can comment back and we can help boost the video, boost the page. I don't have any sponsors. You guys are the sponsor. I love all you guys. I'll keep you guys updated. But the French, I'm surprised. They're still there. They're still chilling. No electricity, no water, but I do think they might be getting some free stuff from the U.S. right next door. Anyway, love all you guys. We'll see you later.